All right, we are live here at Cafe News. I'm Susan, and yeah, we're looking at the debate on the floor right now um, with the House. So let's just go ahead and get set up while we take a quick listen on what's going on. Well, isn't this something? Welcome to Cafe News, Creatives Cafes, intersection between creativity and politics. We're actually going live right now. The issue is that I have tried to, at some point, um, screen share what is on the live TV to my feed, but I keep getting a black screen on that. So we just have pretty much audio going on here, but they're on the floor right now. They're getting a lot of different representatives to stand up and pretty much pledge their opinions of why it is so important to release these files today without hesitation and with full transparency. So this is where we are. Now, let's go mute real quick. I'll be right back. All right, all right, all right. Let's get back. We have the dog walker here. All right. So I just popped on live just to pop on live because of what's going on, and uh, I knew this was going to be happening today, and I just want to see if at all if I can screen share my live feed. You know, it's probably not going to happen, but I'm going to see if I can get that up. It's pretty interesting um, what's happening right now. Let's go to YouTube TV. right, it keeps taking me out to YouTube. And you know what? Since I'm here,
Rich and powerful friends who either abused or raped children or were enabling and complicit in these heinous crimes for decades. This vote today matters, but here is the truth. Donald Trump could direct the Department of Justice to release the files today. He is choosing not to. They are already under subpoena, led by oversight Democrats, and have refused. This is an ongoing cover up by the Trump White House, and Mike Johnson in the House has been complicit.
all right, I'm bringing this down just a little bit. Let me see if I can go ahead and at CNBC. So basically, they are recognizing.
There's no great risk. No one is saying it was an absolute crime if you ever bumped shoulders with Jeffrey Epstein. The files are not going to be ambiguous. They are decades long of a real investigation.
I have MS Now on my iPad, and I pulled up C-SPAN, and let's see if I can get this on my screen.
Enough maybe in year 3 they had control, or not even in his final year of office. Other than a single letter the ranking member wrote in 2019, a single letter, not one Democrat on the committee spoke out about Epstein or his victims of this very terrible tragedy, other than to say that he didn't like the plea deal. Let me say this. When they stand here today insisting how badly they want these files released, why didn't they do it? Yet they stayed silent for year after year after year after year under Joe Biden.
Okay, so right there, let me just say, I'm so sick of these Republicans saying, why didn't they do it under Joe Biden? Year after year after, well, there's been an open investigation of Jeffrey Epstein, even back during Trump's administration, considering the fact that if you have an open investigation, then hello, yeah, you can't release it. But in July or June or something of this year, see, there's my boy right there, Jamie, our governor here in Maryland, senator here in Maryland. But, you can't put these files, you couldn't put these files out in public because why? The case was still open under investigation in case it came to a grand jury process. But here we are.
Support justice here of having Trump derangement syndrome. You all suffer from something much worse, which is pedophile protection syndrome. Stop protecting pedophiles, release the Epstein files. The victims deserve justice. I yield back.
We reserve.
Members are reminded to direct their comments to the chair.
No kidding.
The gentleman from Maryland reserves. The gentleman from Ohio is recognized.
We reserve.
The gentleman from Ohio reserves. The gentleman from Maryland.
I'm yielding 30 seconds to my friend, Representative Walkinshaw from Virginia.
The gentleman is recognized.
For years, Mr. Speaker, we have watched dangerous conspiracies like Pizzagate and QAnon shape our political landscape. They help fuel the rise of President Trump and were built on baseless claims about secret pedophile rings, while the real documented case of child sex trafficking involving Jeffrey Epstein remains shrouded in secrecy because President Trump refuses to release the files. What is President Trump hiding? Why won't he release the files? The House finally has the opportunity to act, release the files, and let the American people see the truth. I yield back.
The gentleman yields back.
We reserve.
The gentleman reserves. The gentleman from Ohio is recognized.
We reserve.
The gentleman reserves. The gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
Granting 30 seconds to the very distinguished gentlelady who is finally with us, Representative Adelita Grijalva from Arizona 7th.
The gentlelady is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to acknowledge the survivors, family members, and advocates who are here today and have never given up. The legislation in front of us, at its core, is about something very simple. The survivors deserve justice. The American people deserve the truth. To every survivor watching, your courage is inspiring. You are the reason why this vote is happening today. Protecting women and children from pedophiles should not be a Democratic issue, should not be a Republican issue. It should be a human rights issue and a matter of justice. I urge my colleagues to vote yes on the Epstein Files Transparency Act. I yield back. Thank you.
Thank you, and we reserve.
The chair will remind all persons in the gallery that they are here as guests of the House and that any manifestation of approval or disapproval of proceedings is in violation of the rules of the House. The gentleman from Maryland.
Yeah, but I'll just add they're here as honored guests of the House, and we're delighted they're here, and with that, we reserve.
The gentleman reserves. The gentleman from Ohio is recognized.
Yeah, we reserve.
The gentleman reserves. The gentleman from Maryland.
I'm granting 30 seconds to Representative Lois Frankel from Florida.
The gentlelady from Florida is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, for far too long, the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's abuse were failed by a justice system that minimized their suffering and prosecutors who treated young girls as if they were criminals. That was wrong, and I am here with my colleagues to promise this. We will get to the bottom of why the Epstein survivors were treated so badly, who made those decisions, and who were they protecting. No more secrecy, no more excuses. We all deserve the truth, and I thank the survivors for their courage and perseverance. Your voices are being heard.
Do not stand up.
The gentlelady yields back. The gentleman
we
reserves the balance of his time. The gentleman from Ohio.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield 1 minute to the distinguished gentleman from the great state of Louisiana, the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, Mr.
The gentleman from Louisiana is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Chairman Jordan, for doing such an extraordinary job on all of this. For 43 long days, the Democrats held this House and the entire country hostage. Finally, with the lights back on, this body's returning to our regular legislative session. We have a lot of work to do. My colleagues on this side of the chamber are ready and eager to get back to our urgent legislative work that we promised the American people we would do. We've got to continue lowering the cost of health care. We've got to bring down prices for American families, and we've got to finish the regular appropriations process, just to name a few of those priorities. And I wish I could say that our first order of business would be to get to those urgent priorities, but of course we're here spending time on the floor about something else. This is something we could have resolved last week when we brought a unanimous consent to pass this discharge with the full support of the body. But our friends over here who are arguing today stalled that. They objected to it, and they wanted to have this exercise instead. And that's why we say that this is a show vote. That's what this is. They're making a show of it. And it really is a shame. We have some heroic women in the chamber today. I met with many of them a while back. They're in the gallery here. They have come forward. They have shown their faces. They've used their names to share the unspeakable tragedies that many of them were subjected to, some of them when they were very young. And it is a heroic service to the country. They are seeking justice, and the justice has been delayed for too long. The Department of Justice, many years ago, should have brought these charges. It took too long to do it. And now we're in this process of making sure all the American people get the information, but we have to do it in the right way, After 4 years of Democrat control under President Biden, they were not truthful with us about a lot.
Okay, I really honestly can't listen to this man. But, you know, we're almost 20 minutes into this. This is probably going to be an all-day thing, so I am not going to put us through this torture. What I want to get to is the floor vote for the bill. I want to see which of these members of the body of the legislative branch vote no on this bill moving forward, because that would be a very telling story. You know, who's willing to give up their integrity for the protection of who knows who. You know, I have no idea. So I guess we're going to find out eventually, but when they actually do it, we'll come back on and see what actually happens, right? All right, so this is where Cafe News is today, and we're going to come back and bring you some I guess, interesting results of what is going to happen today. Your boy, Mike Johnson, who is Speaker of the House, is such a, I hate to say this, he's a butt boy. He is a serious butt boy. But anyway, let's hope we get there. And I'm not going to bore you with, you know, these different members of the legislative body, but I do want to chime in on it, and we'll get to the floor vote. All right, we'll get back at you.